My name is Jillian Permiano. I'm a registered nurse at a hospital in Bushwick. I attended a protest in the Bronx with a good friend of mine, Mike Pappas, a doctor. We were riding as medics to help people if police hurt protesters and to assist in any medical needs that happened at the protest. We were a peaceful march. We probably started marching around 7 o'clock. People from the community were leading us through the neighborhood, but the police presence in the Bronx was larger than I've seen at some of those other protests. At 7:50, the police began slowly inching closer and closer to the back lines. Mike and I were on the back lines with 2 other medics, and there were other medics peppered within the group as well with supplies. For everybody who is not an essential worker in New York, there is now a curfew, and at 8 p.m. on the dot, they began arresting people. I saw them choke holding people. I saw one police officer jump off the top of a car with a baton in his hand and crack somebody's head. Eventually, they started pulling patients out of the crowd, allowing us to help sometimes. There was one woman who had had a seizure and was then post-ictal, meaning that they had confusion and other symptoms after having a seizure. In that series of arrests, the 2 other medics who were riding together and Mike got arrested. They also arrested a legal support person. They began to arrest me and then let me go for some reason because I'm a nurse, but they didn't let the other medics go even though they also had identification. They began arresting people in the crowd. They wouldn't let me or the other medics in even though I was asking and clearly identifying myself and holding my badge up as a nurse.
They won't let the medics in. They won't let us in.
I told you to move back.
There's not enough FDNY medics to help everybody who's hurt in there, and they won't let the street medics in.
They wouldn't let us help anybody else in the crowd. They began being pretty aggressive with us, pushing the medics back.
I'm an emergency room nurse. I know what to do. I know how to evaluate the patients. We have nurses and doctors.
And then insisted that we go home or we were going to arrest us.
Okay, so if you don't want to move back, then you can join them.
They told us that we have to, I'm so sorry. They told us that we have to move all the way back.
On my way to look for my friend, Mike Pappas, the doctor who was arrested at the back of the line, I was looking for which precinct he was being held in, and I was with 3 jail support people. Jail support is a group of volunteers who meets people outside of jail with legal advice, rides home, water, food, and there's always usually a medic. They arrested us despite the fact that we have confirmation from the city that jail support is a legal and essential after curfews allowed job.
All right, is there a reason why you guys are out?
Yeah, we were doing jail support.
I don't know what jail support is.
So
Are you
it's
an
for
essential
people-
worker?
They insisted to not know about it. The police officer who was in charge or seemingly in charge told me, we don't talk to de Blasio that much.
You guys put your hands behind your back. You guys are in violation of curfew. You're gonna go to the precinct.
We were just over
I don't know
there
what I don't know what
doing
that.
support. Can you look at the letter?
I don't know what jail support is. That
The curfew exists to suppress the voice of the movement. It does not exist to protect people. No people walking on the street have been hurt by protesters. The curfew exists to protect stores and Capitol and to give police carte blanche to beat whoever they want after 8 o'clock in name of a curfew.
Look at that meeting! No, they're going.
This is the state allowing the police to take out their frustration as soon as the sun goes down. I've seen it. I'm a nurse. I'm an honest person. I have seen this happen again and again and again. And it's not going to stop until somebody else stops it. We're not going to get off the streets.